What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning to the Shred Show Live. Can you believe it? It's a new day. It's a new week. And I've got three incredible gentlemen. You know Don, you know Gino, and hell, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know Rene, you must be living under a rock because he is absolutely incredible. He's brilliant, and he brings you amplify. He brings you events. He helps you get into the right frame of mind in ways that you never even imagined. I've heard grown men cry. I've heard babies shout from the rooftops, ladies and gentlemen. This man is absolutely legendary, and you are not going to want to miss this show because we're talking about momentum. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? It is time to shred. Ladies and gentlemen, I've had Don and Gino on the show, and it is absolutely my incredible opportunity. I'm humbled to have Rene Rodriguez joining us this morning. And there's almost like no good way to introduce Rene because he truly is one of the legends. He's one of the people that, as I've been able to get to know him over the years, he's truly inspired me. He's inspired so many. And Rene, it is so good to have you here this morning, brother.
Can I just bring you to all my events and just have you do that right there, what you just did? I wish I would have you come everywhere. That's perfect. Good.
Why do you think we're going to have him help us at Momentum Builder?
It's a pleasure to be here with these guys and be here with you, Josh. It's awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I am so excited, and I'm just going to do this. I'm going to jump right into, you actually have this sizzle reel. We're going to get into Momentum Builder is just around the corner coming in March, but if you've never been to an Amplify event, which I have to admit, I've never been, I am so excited to be attending this one. Like, it is my first time. I'm literally like on the edge of my seat, but I'm going to play this for anybody who has not seen what we're going to give you a little teaser. You guys ready for it? Take a look. Here we go.
Telling a joke and people laughing, setting a vision and watching people buy in. It's that moment of significance where we feel like we have an impact that we're making on the world. Today, we're going to be talking about influence. This is a time for innovation. It's a time for opportunity, and I'm going to test and challenge your reality. The further you get into psychology, neuroscience, the more you realize, holy shit, what I think is real isn't. Part of the Amplify process is about self-awareness. My purpose is to get you to wake up and realize you can shine. To have the courage to step forward and shine big, to shine bright, to go through the work to figure out who the hell you are in this world and what you believe, and step forward into that as big as you can, without apology, without fear. The world needs it.
Oh my gosh. One of the best scissor reels ever. I mean, you saw Cindy Ertman there, Craig suing us. Like, Rene, you truly have worked with some of the absolute best of the best throughout our industry. And like I said, you were here at an event in Salt Lake just a few months ago, and I got to hear just an hour of what you shared with us, just an hour of it. And I left the room better. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you truly have this gift, Rene, that very, very few people on this planet have. And you use it for so much good. So this upcoming March, you have an Amplify event leading up to Momentum Builder.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's you're tapping into a phrase that means a lot to me. We can talk about it another time, just utilizing our gifts. And I think that's what this is all about. And Amplify has been something that has been sort of the culmination of 27 years of work and understanding what we're here for, and combination of some of the most favorite things, which is science and leadership, anthropology to, I mean, you name it, the culmination of so many different disciplines, sales, and putting it together to helping people communicate to the world what they do in a for-profit environment, yet to move the world forward. And so Amplify Conference is a way for people to experience the event in a way that they don't pay $6,000 per person for the private event. And so we've got our ways to do that, to bring it down. And when I knew that Don and Gino were doing Momentum Builder, they're two dear friends of mine. We've done work together, and we kind of looked at each other. We was like, you know what? Why don't we do this together? You know, day one, Amplify, then people, same audience. Why don't we just do it together? And it was a very simple thing to do together. So we've got a lot of, man, I haven't even told Don and Gino the things that we're doing. We've got some crazy stuff. And if you got a minute, I'll share it with you what we're going to be doing.
Oh, I say, Cheryl, I'm excited. I know Don and Gino, you guys, when you shared with me the last few years of Momentum Builder have been absolutely brilliant. And just a few weeks ago, we talked about this incredible lineup that you have. And again, you've got people like Ryan, Gary V, you got Ryan, you have incredible, just nuts guests. Ryan Holiday, one of my favorite people in the world, is going to be there. But then you guys are like, hey, let's not have great speakers. Let's not just have good content there. Let's actually get people in the right mindset. Let's get them in the right frame of mind, which that's what the Amplify event is all about. Rene, you take people, like you said, you use science, you help them explore their own gifts, and you do it on a scale that is almost, like I said, nowhere else I've ever seen in the industry. So you're prepping them, you're getting them ready to be fed through a fire hose. I mean, is that kind of that's literally adding the two best things you could possibly have together? Because I honestly think, and you've probably seen this, Rene, sometimes when we go to events, sometimes we're not prepared for them, or sometimes they go over our head. But Amplify really gets you in that state of mind to take everything and then go implement it.
Well, I look at this as if we're going to spend an hour together, a day together, 3 hours together. Let's be together. We're in a world today that's fighting for your attention, whether it be a click, a swipe, a thought, discretionary effort in business. We're trying to get employee engagement, which is how do I get you to think about the business and problem solving when you're not on a break? How do I get you thinking about the business? When you're at home, how do I get you thinking about the business? Attention is the hardest thing to capture in a world that is constantly coming at you. And so for me, there's a science to it. For some reason, a show is able to capture us, Breaking Bad, whether it be Game of Thrones, whatever your show is, we lock into a screen and we lose periphery. When the pandemic hit, people were so scared of being on Zoom. We said, we watch full-length movies and we cry when they're done. We want them to be over. It's not that we can't pay attention, it's that you suck on camera. And that's the thing that happens. And so,
he was pointing at me, by the way.
And I say that not to judge. I say that to say, let's stop making excuses. Let's learn from the artist. Let's learn from John. I mean, he's up there screaming, and I'm like, and how do you not get excited when he does an introduction like that? I'm going, right. I'm sitting here going, and he starts going, let's shred. And I'm going, okay, hold on a second. I gotta, and it's like he literally throws his energy through the screen at you. Though that's the world that we live in. And so if we're at an event, it's the same thing, whether it's an event of 12 people at an amplifier or you've got 1,000 people in a room. How do you capture that energy? And then 27 years of doing this, we all know we go to events and we get excited, and man, that adrenaline's going rah, running around the screen, running around the stage. That's not my style, because I already know the moment I'm running around and I'm having you pound your chest, I'm not saying that that's not a bad thing. You got to learn how to change your state and all that stuff. That's a good thing. But if I don't give you tools on top of that change of state, your body is going to go back to homeostasis. And if I don't have logic, if I don't have some sort of plan, if I don't have some tool that's going to last longer than that emotional state, I go back to clients. I go back to exactly where I was. My 27 years has been around behavior change and the science of it. And so if I can get back and inspire you with the tools and give you something to change, that's where we start making change.
Bingo.
I love how you explain that so peacefully. Usually when I'm talking about those motivational speakers that just bring a tremendous amount of energy, I'm like, you're one beer away from losing all that energy in one shot. It'll be like the minute you walk out of there, you drink one beer, gone. Yeah. Right? Like you said, back to homeostasis. Yeah. So for me, I've always needed intellectual stimulation to say, I need to change my life and I want to do this, and here's how I'm going to do it.
Well, Don, this is something that you and I spoke about as we prepared for this. As you know, we started putting in plans even from when we ended last year's Momentum Builder. It's like, how do we make 2022 even better? How do we make it more impactful? How do we make it more meaningful? How do we make it when people walk away from this event that it truly has changed their life? And again, I think it is so brilliant that you brought the Amplified and everything that Rene does. He teaches and he helps us get to that. And then you literally put the Momentum Builder right behind that. So you literally, like, it's an entire week of just pure like momentum and pure like mindset and getting you in the right place.
Well, I mean, it's a perfect marriage having us together. We've been to Rene's class. We've actually taken his private class. And it was game changing. And then we've gone to his event. That was amazing, by the way, Rene. That's what got us actually pumped up to go and do this live. We're all sitting there at your event in Vegas going, and Craig's coming at us. Everybody's like, you guys got to do Momentum Builder live. And you got to go big, because you got to bring it out to more people and have that energy with those people. Because really, it's about the networking also. We're there. You got to have that energy. You got to be in front of people. And the people we brought in, the speakers, I mean, that's why we love your energy, Josh. That's why we have to have you part of it. Renee's. We want to bring more Rene to more people because we know what Renee's done for us. And then you got the speaker lineup, like you mentioned, the great speakers, but they're very carefully selected to give you not just a rah-rah. It's really how to change your personal and professional lives. That's what Gino and I go to these events for, and they've changed our lives. So that's where Momentum Builder came about. Is like, we need to share this with more people. More people got to know what we know and what Rene knows. And once you get in front of these type of people, it'll change how you think, how you do things. It'll hopefully change not just professionally, but personally too. And these speakers are amazing. They'll change your mindset. They'll get you in the right frame of mind. And especially heading into our earnings season for all real estate and mortgage, in most cases, you earn most of your money between April and September. So it's perfect timing to get pumped up to have your best year ever. And I'm so happy that Renee's joining us for this event because we know the value of his event and what he teaches. And it's really changed how Gino and I do, these type of things,
Well, you guys don't forget my book deal with Wiley came because they saw me speak at Momentum Builder last year.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. See, there's so many opportunities. And this is what I want to touch on, Rene, as we wrap up, as we only have a few minutes left here. Their opportunities come from putting yourself out there. Even as somebody like yourself, who is so incredibly well known, looked at as such an inspiring leader, from putting yourselves in uncomfortable situations. I know you're comfortable with this, but hear me out here. Speaking at Momentum Builder opened up opportunities for you. That's exactly what Amplify is. That's exactly what Momentum Builder is you're putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation. And that's what I've loved. I've heard so much about your events is you really help people break it down on such a personal level, break it down in levels and in ways they haven't anticipated or expected in the past, and they walk away. I've never ever heard somebody walk away from your event and been like, well, that was okay. Everybody walks away. Like I said, I literally have had grown men text me like, I cried like I've never cried before. Like I got to a place personally that I've never been. So it's going to be an exciting for those, like I said, who are listening today, who are thinking about it. What can you share with them? A little teaser of if they're kind of on the fence, like, should I be going to Amplify? Should I be going to this event? What would you share with them to really have them push through and make it to this event?
Well, we've designed this as a 3-day experience, I think, for people. We've got the mindset and the shift in terms of ready for personal transformation that's going to happen on day one in Amplify. You're gonna be surrounded by, our goal is 1,000 of the top producers. In our last year's event, we had 600 people there standing room only. People were there 15 minutes early from lunch because they couldn't wait to get back to it.
Yeah.
And we had vendors from a different conference come over saying that they'd never seen more top producers, CEOs, and decision makers in one conference ever in the last 20 years. So to give you an idea of who you'll be surrounded with at this conference, it's pretty exciting just to even be there. And the Don, I even told you guys, we're going to have the whole place full of augmented reality. So we're all of our signs, all of the pop-ups are all going to come to life and tell you a story as you work your way through the event.
How cool is that?
That's
So
awesome.
we talk about storytelling and we talk about things, but we're also incorporating the reality of technology and how that's doing, and really trying to marry that. If you don't know what augmented reality is, if you've ever bought 19 Crimes Wine and you have the app and you put your app there and the criminal comes to life and tells you a story, that's a way of taking ordinary paper and turning it into video. So you don't actually need a device. You already have a device. And so you'll see that there'll be augmented reality, a live Q&A just by looking at this. Our agenda comes to life as if it was just crawling on the sheet of paper there. We're going to have Horian Gracie, who's the founder of the UFC and somebody that I've been working with for years on talking about his story. He's one of the most charismatic, iconic human beings around. I mean, he literally changed the world by bringing a martial art to the United States with a vision that nobody had of he'll tell you the story of the original octagon. Wasn't an octagon. It was a moat surrounded by alligators.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Yeah. And when you talk about like the story and how it created and when he sold it to Dana White and the whole process, it is mind blowing there. And you're going to get a chance to see, you guys can talk about Brad Lee coming to speak there. Brad's going to come and share just a little bit about from a talker to a speaker and the difference between, talking and speaking. And so we've got I mean, there's a lot of really, really cool things that are going to be happening.
I know we're not going to be disappointed, Rene. You always bring it, and the people you surround yourself with are all professionals. And for me, I feel like I'm cheating a little bit because Don and I are going to be on stage the next couple of days after that. I feel like we get like our little reboot, reset, and a little just baby amplify right before we go on, just so that we can use, because you know what? Sometimes if you don't use the skills that you learn, you kind of get rusty, for lack of a better term. Absolutely. And so I love the fact that we get to cheat a little bit, Rene, and spend a day with you and just get primed for Momentum Builder.
Well, that's right. And then we get the VIP party after day one of Momentum Builder. I mean, you're going to have so many movers and shakers there. It's going to be ridiculous. I mean, if you're not there, you're going to wish you were.
I was going to say, Sam Parker's going to be there, ladies and gentlemen. Who else? Sam. I mean, Sam's coming to see you there. Every Amplify is another level up. Sam's going to be there. I'm going to be hanging out with that guy. But Rene, that really is, and Gino and Don, you guys both make incredible points. You know, sharpening our tools. That's what this is all about. Keeping at our absolute best levels. Rene mentioned gifts. I talk a lot about the personal gifts, unique gifts and abilities we have as human beings. So I am looking forward to it. This is going to be a brilliant event. The link down, or the link for the event is down in the comments. Click on it right now, guys. Do not waste another second. This is an event. We talk about events throughout the year. This is absolutely one, with the Amplify event and Momentum Builder right at the tail end of it. 3 days, like Rene said, of absolute brilliance. You were going to walk away. This isn't going to be where you just take a few notes and go home and put that book away. You're going to walk away a better person, a better human being. And as Rene said, not just in sales, but as a better father, a better husband, a better human being to help those and serve those around you. Guys, this is going to be an absolutely brilliant event, and we cannot wait to see you there. Rene, Don, Gino, you guys are absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much.
Woo-hoo!
Thanks for sharing your time, and can't wait to see you guys here in a few months. And Momentum Builder, going to be a ton of fun.
Thank you all. Appreciate you guys.
Guys, as always, we appreciate you. We love you. Now it's time for everybody to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See ya.